Actually, the noise that's coming from the androids next door is affecting the mobile to where I'm having trouble turning it on and off. They've also... See, I've also got their music, which is very negative, aggressive music. Can you pick it up? Says we can't go nowhere, that music that they're playing next door while they're making the noise. That's like saying, I can't go nowhere. You see, that's like a threat, even though, see, we can't go nowhere, like they're trapped. But that also applies to them too, don't forget, because they're part of this patrol control system. I have to use words to describe what's going on, but you know, from a more spiritual standpoint, or even religion or whatever, it's like spiritual attack, you know. It's like one group against another, even though one group is like myself, just a passive individual that wants to just mind your own business and get about your own business. But of course half of them around here will pretend that too, you see, even though they know they're combining with everyone else in the area and trying to harass and bring you down. Even the workmen, even though they are loud and aggressive and using technology or machinery to make disruptive, unpleasant noise, which is totally geared to the human mind, even though it sounds, even though the mobile won't pick it up, but if you were hearing it, if you were like standing in my shoes right now, you would hear it much, much louder. And, you know, like my heart is beating very strongly now just even doing this, because I have to stand close to the door to try to pick it up, but it's not being picked up. But the aggressive music, they've actually just turned on this music, which they don't normally do. But that type of music that they listen to shows that in their mind, the androids feel that they're the ones trapped. You know what I mean? Like, you see what I'm saying? So it's like reversed around, because then they attack, you see. See, they're programmed with seeing me as something to attack, even though, realistically speaking, they know that I'm not interested in them at all and would leave them alone if they left me alone. Well, I do leave them alone, apart from talking like I am now, but, you know, I'm really just, because it is about frequency and vibration, and this is why I knew this, or figured this out early on when they started coming around me in their droves, until you realise eventually that it's the entire suburb, that it is like literally a military matrix. That means a military control system, even though no one is wearing a military uniform. Everyone is part of the military, but no one's wearing a military uniform. They look like normal, everyday people doing everyday jobs, even even though it is not real that there's always noise going on. But showing that is another thing, and whether people are interested or want to believe it, because certainly if I mention it to anyone, I'm mentioning it to an android that's either part of it or even unconsciously part of it. Because even if a human being, supposing there was another human being in the area, but they're surrounded by friendly androids, in other words, what they think are their friends and their relatives and people that they trust or get on with. And, you know, they're not going to care or be interested in what takes place around me. Because even if they were, unless they're being targeted themselves and realise that, you know, you're in the same boat. In other words, if they were openly targeted to where they realise they're surrounded literally by hidden enemies or covert psychopathic narcissistic personality disordered androids, you know, that's putting it as accurately as I can at a kind of psychological level, trying to be more academic than what I am. But I have to do that to explain it. And I've had to watch, you know, 1 million videos on psychology and on all these things for me to try to understand what's taking place around me and why. And, you know, like I say, you can take it from a spiritual point of view where you simply see the androids or the human beings that are pretending to be, you know, the human androids that are pretending to be real human beings. And the plane is going over as I say that, so you can take it from us. Take it from a spiritual point of view of belief system, but spiritual simply means that it's a belief system that is spiritual simply means you're taking it from a belief system point of view that is based on truth. Or that you oh dear, I'm getting a headache here. My ears are picking up that noise even if the mobile ain't. But from a spiritual point of view, it simply means that, you know, you have android beings that are pretending to be real life human beings that are really dead dark spirits opposing and trying to suppress through sight and sound control matrix around people, or even if you just took it that you had human beings that are trying to suppress and control other human beings. In other words, like, this is a military area, and instead of, you know, what you think are your friends or people around you, they are really part of the military, and that military is told them that you are a kind of enemy, and they're told to, you know, control you. And most of them want to, because they're highly competitive and highly micromanaging everything. Like, they're watching you 24/7. They don't like it even if you sneeze, literally. So basically, plane going over, because that's all they know, because they're artificial intelligent android pretend human beings, and their survival depends on imitating and copying a real human being's better points or more human points, so that they can assimilate and take over, which they have, but also keep control, because they don't want you to stand out more than them. They don't want any other real human to realise that their best friend or their partner, and that most people around them are not the same as them, that they're not real humans, that they're androids. And then someone sees me and they say, and they might, in other words, another human sees me and somehow notices the difference between me and all the people that they're used to and trust around them. Because that probably wouldn't happen, but they're paranoid because they're survival machine android beings that basically are assimilating everything that is human, copying everything that is human in order to to assimilate and fit in and take over and have control, because they want the trust of real humans. They don't want real humans with other real humans. Their name of the game is what they call, and what I was told, divide and separate. That means, divide and separate. Make sure that I don't ever connect with another real human being, and if I do, that real human being doesn't recognise me as any different to them, or better still, much less than them, but certainly not better than them in any way, to where that person would dismiss and realise that there was something negative about their friends and associates that they're affiliated with. They don't want the truth, in other words, to be seen. They don't want the truth to be seen, and I'm tired, so I'm folding up